The project I've built is called Synergy, which is curator and aggregator of individual data. Let me begin with explaining the problem we are trying to solve. The first one is limitations of data curating. Our data generates value in our daily lives. For example, search engines use our browsing data for advertising. However, in both Web 3 and Web 2, the value generated by our data does not belong to us. We need an infrastructure that allows us to have more control over our data and decide whether or not to make it public, so we can benefit from sharing it. The second one is imitations of data aggregating. Data integration can amplify its value by aggregating information from different platforms. A user's profile can become very rich, providing insights that cannot be obtained from just one platform. In the on-chain data field, aggregating wallet addresses can help overcome the issue of fragmented data. This enables users to have more data than others, giving them an advantage in the field. So how can Synergy solve it? By utilizing zero-knowledge proof technology, users can aggregate their on-chain and off-chain accounts into valuable user profiles without revealing their specific information. However, to monetize user data, the B side must be willing to pay for it. Providing B-side services based on user profiles without disclosing their specific information can meet their real business needs and make them willing to pay for it. Data curators need to turn the data into a service and provide it to the B-side to solve their actual problems. Synergy's ultimate goal is to capitalize on user data assets. According to the previous discussion, Synergy is divided into three components: the credential curator, the private credential attester, and the credential aggregator. The identity curator searches or verifies user data to find credentials to meet certain conditions. Credentials are defined by data curators based on the actual needs of B-side and assign a unique ID, name, curator, and other conditions. When a user meets the conditions, they are eligible to receive the credential. For private credential attester, when a user receives the credential, the private credential attester creates a ZK proof to confirm that the user possesses the credential without disclosing their account information. For credential aggregator, each identity is represented by a collection of credentials which has a unique ID and records which credentials are associated with that ID. Now let me show you the Synergy demo. I'm going to walk you through the whole process, which is super easy and only has 4 steps. First, you need to sign into the website. Next, scan your address to find credentials that match those created by curators. Then choose the credentials you want to use to create a new private identity. Finally, create a SBT, which is the proof of your new identity, and wait for the transaction to be finished. Let's get started with the first step. To verify ownership of the address, you need to sign a message. After signing into the website, an automatic scanning service will start. You can then check which credentials have been scanned. Currently, there are several credentials showing on the website. Take a look at this one. It's the proof of holding the Manfred NFT for more than 14 days. You can choose 2 credentials you want to use to create a new private identity. Then you can aggregate those 2 credentials into the identity. You need to connect to new wallet and receive a SBT representing user's identity. To verify ownership of the receiver's address, you will also need to sign a message. Once you've done that, the proof can be generated on the client side and the transaction will be sent by the website service without you having to pay any gas fees. After the private identity SBT minting transaction is complete, you can check the transaction details in the Blockchain Explorer.